So my wife calls me and she says, hey, the car is running really, really rough. And she says, and it's shaking really aggressively. The whole point of this though is to show that whenever you have problems like this with your car, don't get intimidated, don't freak out. You know, it might not be as big of a deal as you think. So just calm down and I'll go home and I'll figure out whatever the problem is. Okay, here she is. First step is gonna be starting her up, hearing what she sounds like. Definitely running a little rougher than it was before. Yeah, so there's definitely a hesitation in the idle. So I'll just grab my code reader and then we'll hook it up and see what it says. Plug this into the port. Here we go. One of our codes right here is for an ignition coil and then a misfire on the 6th cylinder. Okay, this is actually great. So this actually does seem like something that we might be able to get done just in an afternoon. An ignition coil is pretty easy to do. They're typically right on the top of the engine. So now I'm just gonna run down the road to AutoZone. Okay, so I rarely go into working on a car knowing exactly what I'm gonna do. So I just spent about 20 minutes on YouTube looking up my exact car, 2011 Buick Enclave, how to change ignition coil. And boom, you know what? There's a video on how to do every single step and it looks easy. You don't have to have all this random knowledge stored in your head to be able to work on your car. You can just Google it and find out exactly how to do it step by step. It's really like a giant Lego set. The best thing about today is it looks like this job will be really simple. It seems like you can do the whole thing with just a socket wrench and a good old 10mm socket.
So the point of this video is not a how-to on how to change an ignition coil. It's actually just to show you that you don't have to be an expert in order to try to fix it. But this simple job made a turn for the worse.
Okay, here's where we left off.
This right here is the ignition coil we're trying to get to. You notice anything about the wires going to it?
So what has actually happened is a rat or a mouse or a squirrel or something got in the car and chewed up those wires. What was going to be an easy switch out of an ignition coil turned into a whole rewiring job. Freaking squirrels.
I'm cutting off the old connector here.
There we go.
And now I'm only just now disconnecting the battery because safety is an afterthought.
I really don't have enough wire here to make any mistakes. Hopefully I get this right the first time.
So I bought a new ignition coil connector off of O'Reilly's.
All right, I got a clean strip on all the wires. So I'm looking over here at the one that I cut off to make sure that I'm connecting the right wires to the right spot. So black goes all the way on the left.
And my soldering skills are definitely subpar, but they'll do the trick.
All right, I feel like that's good enough.
And I feel like I should probably remind you here that this is not a how-to video because I am not an expert. This is just to show you that you can figure things out on your own.
Got them all done. Hopefully they're good connections. I mean, it looks ugly, but I mean, it's done.
And now I'm just buttoning everything back up and reconnecting the hoses. And just a little tip, if you're scared that you're not gonna remember where everything goes, just take pictures on your phone before you take everything apart.
And now arguably the most important part of any DIY mechanic job, that is the prayer that it starts. Here we go. It's fixed. There's not a better feeling in the world than whenever something is broken and you fix it. That Buick Beauty is back in action. There's no check engine light on. It's running completely smooth. I have no special skills, okay? I'm just pretty good at Googling stuff and pretty good at YouTubing stuff. Just know the DIY stuff is achievable. If Con can do it, you can do it.